Hey, it's Jenny B from vitalitybyjenny.com, and today I wanted to go over why you should not be eating brown rice. So before I left Vegas and moved here to Austin, we actually went on a dinner, like a goodbye dinner with some of our friends. And this couple ended up bringing up this study about brown rice and why eating white rice is actually better for you than brown rice. And they were saying that the brown rice actually attracts, mold. It molds easier than the white rice, and therefore you shouldn't eat brown rice and you should eat white rice. The reason that I wanted to talk to you guys about this today is not because I think that you shouldn't eat brown rice, because I still eat brown rice all the time. The point that I wanted to make was the food industry, scientists and big food corporations, big meat, big dairy, big, everything, big sugar, everything, they have us, we're almost addicted to all of the fractioned off thinking that these studies provide. So, we started looking at all the vitamins and minerals, and each one of them has been the miracle, missing link at some point in food history, in nutritional history. People have claimed that this vitamin or that nutrient or this, part of a food is the end all be all. It's going to do this and that, and you're just going to make our lives amazing. And then there's also the studies like this one, that they try to find the slightest reason to argue over one slightly better thing than another. And like I said, we're almost addicted to it. So the person that I heard this from, they constantly are reading about nutrition and, keeping up with all of the different natural news, that's out there. And they all the time are coming up with reasons or facts about different things that I honestly never even have read about. And I read about nutrition a lot. So he's well versed in a lot of nutritional information, but on the other hand, he was also eating meat, lots of platter that had, a couple different things of meat and vegetables, and was talking about going out for frozen custard afterwards. And so it brings up my point, finally, is that I feel like that we're missing the forest for the trees. So many of us have been focused on statistics that relatively don't matter. Of course, every little difference can matter, but when you're still doing all of the big things wrong, then these little seemingly insignificant facts don't really help you much. They just continue to confuse you and keep you occupied so that you don't think about getting rid of the big no-nos. So it keeps you occupied with all of these little known facts or all of these nuances in nutrition, and you continue to go, around and around with them in your head, and trying to implement different things, hoping that you're going to see some improvement based upon them. And you just keep going and going and going because you really don't get any improvement, enough to make it noticeable improvement on when you're doing those little itty bitty nuances. So you just keep going and going and keep thinking the next one's going to be it, when really you're missing the much more simpler truth. And that actually reminds me that, what is that? There's a law in science, and I can't remember the name of it now, of course, but there's this law in science that says that if there's multiple theories about any specific subject, any specific issue, then the simplest one is most likely true. And I feel like that applies quite often, and it's hard because we really want to make things complicated. We enjoy, thinking about things and making it complicated, so that our thoughts are consumed, we're not left with ourselves. And I understand that because, I get in the trap as well. But really, when it comes down to it, things are actually very simple, and so is nutrition. So if this person would simply choose you know, to stop eating animal products and to start eating all whole foods, high carb, low fat diet, you know, for an extended period of time, then they would probably see the changes that they have been searching for in all of these scientific studies. And then they could let all of those go. And well, at least that was my process. I used to be just like this person, like sifting through all the studies, you know, looking at all the scientific facts about this food and that food and this way of eating or whatever, this vitamin, this mineral. And it was just a rat chase. And it wasn't until I adopted a high carb, low fat way of eating and finally felt sustainably amazing that I realized that none of those things really truly mattered, you know, in the long run. That a lot of them go by the wayside anyway when you adopt this lifestyle, but then the ones that are left are just kind of this here or there, you know. And so I would like to encourage you that if you feel like you're this type of person right now who's very into, you know, scientific facts and debating, you know, whether brown rice or white rice is better for you to eat, then I would just encourage you to try to make it as simple as possible. How can you condense all of these choices down into a big choice? You know, what's the biggest choice you can make right now? Is it stop eating meat altogether? You know, is it stop eating the junk food? Is it figure out a way to stop binging? You know, what is the biggest change that you can make? And, you know, that's probably the one that's going to be going to matter much more, you know. I just don't want people to continue missing the forest for the trees, as I said. Keep continuing to focus on all these small facts when really it's the big issues that you really need to pay attention to. So I hope that you enjoyed this discussion about the forest and the trees. If you would like a free recipe ebook helping you to get started on the low-fat, high-carb lifestyle, then please check out my website, www.happysexyhealthy.net. And you can grab that for free. It's an instant download, so you can get it right away. And I look forward to seeing you there. I love you guys. Bye-bye.